Yes, hi there. These comments are for XJL, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You're also one of my students in the English language program at California State University, San Bernardino, and you completed independent writing practice test number 38. So I just read your essay. So I think overall, if I gave you some suggestions, maybe one would be here. You say these people should earn such high salaries and deserve them for 3 reasons. Instead of saying this, it might be better to include some of the key points in each of your topic sentences. You can put them right in this part of your thesis so you'd have a little bit more focused organization. Still, in each of your paragraphs, I noticed your details were absolutely really amazing. One paragraph you talked about Anna Pavlova. In another paragraph you talked about Jet Li. I think that was very important in helping support your idea. And you also talked about Song Lon. So the examples you used to support your ideas were very strong. Now, let's take a look at the rubrics now. I think overall, I'm going to put you in the 3 range. I think you have a strong organization. You have very good development, I think, to support your ideas, but you do have some problems with sentence formation and word choice that makes your ideas and meaning sometimes unclear. So that's probably the reason why I'm going to put you right now at about 3.50 out of 5 or 22 points out of 30 on this. Now, for the purposes of our class, if you take a look here, I'm going to put you at 3.5. That means you're going to get 82% out of 100 on this particular assignment. All right, now let's take a look at some things that you can improve upon. I'm going to take a look at maybe the conclusion and one other paragraph in here to show you some of the changes that you can make. Okay, let's take a look at, how about this particular paragraph? High salary entertainers and athletes also make contributions to society. So what I'm doing here is, if you did this, high salary entertainers and athletes deserve high salaries because they also make contributions to society. If you put the deserve high salaries in there, in that topic sentence, it ties it back to the question a little bit better. Then you say many famous actors and players like to raise money for a poor area after they get much money. Probably want to make this plural. Some of them often shoot films for advertising people to help each other. Those charities not only, and I'm going to use present here because you also use present in the other part. So those charities not only improve their qualities but also treat their high salaries fairly. For instance, in China, everybody knows a good actor called Jet Li. And what I would do here to show you have a little bit better grammar here, put a comma instead of he. Just say, everybody knows a good actor called Jet Li who is an entertainer. of action movies, businessman, Chinese martial artist, and philanthropist. Once he donated 200 million yuan instead of that is, to avoid what's called a comma splice, because once you say that is, I think it's important here to use a comma and then say which is equal to $20 million which is equal to $20 million to poor children. I'm going to say in Western China. I don't think you need a comma after this. You're not really using the city here. If you said in Beijing, comma, China, I would put a comma, but not when you say Western. I think also this idea it's better to put this idea here. Then you can say once he donated 20 million yuan to poor children in Western China, which is equal to $20 million. His money helped kids build new schools, buy books, and hire, I would say a little more specific word, maybe qualified teachers might work better here. I'm going to make this plural. Some people asked him, you don't have to say that and why, just say, some people asked him why he didn't use the money to do his business. He said he did that because he thought those children may be more famous and successful than he was. So you don't have to put the verb, but you should have the subject pronoun there. And remember, you're paraphrasing here, and then they could do more good things for our country. Probably better because your reader, not everybody's from China, right? So I'm just going to say this. So at the very end you say, as a result, one high salary. I would say here, instead of saying, using that as an adjective, you can probably say high paid. Or like this, one highly paid entertainer or athlete can create more useful people. So a high salary for them is necessary. So that was one paragraph. So I went ahead and made some corrections in there to show you some of the sentence structure and word choice areas that you need to improve upon. Right? Sometimes it's vocabulary. So you say good teachers, I say qualified teachers. That's a more accurate, I think, better word there. Let's take a look at your final paragraph. You say, to sum up, entertainers and athletes deserve, I'm going to make this just present, deserve their high salaries because you don't say working hard because there's no verb there. Say because they work hard for their careers. And you want to use a verb here, contribute to society and undertake high dangers. So you say, I think Becoming famous. You need a gerund here because you're using those as subjects. I think and you want to say maybe you're not saying it, but you mean this. I think that becoming famous or earning a high salary is not my lifestyle. The most important thing for people are having a healthy body, good family, and good career. But this doesn't really help your essay. By what you said at the very end in the conclusion, you kind of go away in a different direction. You didn't need to do that. You should have just focused your conclusion on the 3 key points that you talked about. You see what I'm saying? So that last part was probably not even necessary because you want to make sure in your conclusion, XJL, you don't go in a different direction. All right, anyway, so overall, though, I think you have a very strongly organized and developed response. You just simply have quite a few problems with your verb tenses. You have your problems with sentence structure and so on. So you have to keep working on improving those areas. And I'd recommend going through the lessons and the grammar part of my course. I know that we're not focusing that much on grammar this quarter, but I do highly recommend, number one, you can go to the grammar section of my online course and you can take my pretest, and that'll tell you which areas you need to focus on the most and then start going through those lessons. So overall, though, I think you have a pretty good sense of how to structure ideas. You just need to improve your grammar, word choice, and sentence structure.